Hello everyone, I will be reading an article titled 100,000 Children Have Been Saved by Afghan War, says Brown. This article was posted or published on Monday, December 14th, 2009. Just looking at this article, you can read it yourself if you want and turn down the volume, or you can listen to some of my highlights, but Gordon Brown claimed today that the lives of 100,000 children have been saved as a result of the intervention of Britain and other Nato countries in Afghanistan. I think we all know the validity of that statement when all you have to do is just peruse the internet and look at YouTube and see all the pictures and the stories of all the children that have been decapitated as a result of U.S. Bombing with unmanned drone aircraft on a daily basis, and was ramped up under the election of President Obama. So, just moving down on this article, the biggest thing about this article is they're complaining about how they don't have enough money, and they're trying to legitimize why they should have more money or why they should make certain cuts to the defense for the Defense Department so that they can keep funding this eugenics operation and this drug cartel operation and whatever else it is that they're doing. It says here, Brown slept in simple quarters at the Kandahar airbase. Yeah, probably on the floor, right? The headquarters of the Nato troops in the south of the country before meeting the president. It has become traditional for the British Prime Minister to visit UK troops in either Afghanistan or Iraq before Christmas. The estimate is now that 100,000 children under 5 who would have otherwise died are now kept alive by better health care, Brown said. This is because of British and other international countries paying for programs to immunize children, to pay nurses, midwives, doctors, and to make health care sustainable. So yeah, I mean, there's like I said, there's some very good videos that are posted on YouTube, particularly on the Afghan war, where they post, statistics and numbers, and it basically says that yeah, Americans and the Brits we're paying out of our pocket for everything that is going on in Afghanistan. The rebuilding, it's not efficient. It's not economically efficient at all. How it talks about how we're shipping in these plastic grating, fences to put like these snap fences that you put up. They're doing that where it takes so much money just to get it to that location, through the rough terrain and that, and the equipment. And the equipment and the materials are all super expensive because just because it's so remote of an area, and it's because it's being shipped. And the Afghan people and the leaders and that, not the puppet leaders, they're saying, why don't we just employ these workers here, these local people, and have them build like real structures, maybe actually start creating some of these fences themselves instead of having to ship all this stuff in. And it's super expensive, and it would create their own economy. But they don't want to do that because that's not the real point. It's all about sealing contractors and contracts and making money. It's a big money making scheme at the expense of us paying our taxes. Just going down to finish up this article. It said, it was good. Asked why ministers were not present to meet the bodies of dead servicemen when they were being repatriated to the UK, Brown replied, quote, "Everything ministers do is on the advice of our service chiefs and in accordance with the wishes of the families who have lost loved ones," end quote. Yeah, that's a pre-packaged statement. It probably is a handbook or something. It's not much of a reply to a question like that. I think it's pretty self-explanatory, though. And it goes back to this defense cuts. The defense cuts are expected to include the closure of some bases, cuts in civilian staff, and a commitment to improve procurement and alignment in line with a report commissioned by the government from Bernard Gray, defense specialist. The cuts were meant to have been announced in a pre-budget report last week, blah, blah, blah. The cuts are designed to release extra cash for the troops in Afghanistan, including possibly helicopter equipment. More about the funding. Says here, I want to move money towards the Afghan operations to see what more we can do to support our troops. And that means that there may well be tough decisions to be taken elsewhere. So yeah, basically they're sucking. Well, England's never, in the United States will probably never really be under a direct imminent attack unless they want it to be, unless the governments want it to happen. But yeah, they're just taking resources from your country and using it for the other country, but not to protect them, not to protect you, but just to make money and to enslave people. So I mean, that's basically the gist of this article. They're just asking for more money, and that's what they're going to get. Um, Brown said he felt more confident about the conflict following decisions by the U.S. and Britain to send in more troops. He insisted Afghan's border regions are the quote are the location of choice for the Al Qaeda and the epicenter of global terrorism. Um, and that's basically it. So thanks for checking out this article. Like I said, you can go ahead and read it yourself if you want and turn down the volume and just leave your comments. Let me know what you think, guys. All right, thanks.